He just like the video that I made back when I started to study his bars. Yeah.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us roughly midway between Boston and Providence. Everybody knows it as Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. A moment ago, the pride of Massachusetts, the Patriots, introduced to this, as always, sold-out crowd as they get set to go head-to-head with the Miami Dolphins. Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and we are underway in Foxborough. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First carry for Damian Harris, the Alabama man. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing Jones. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Well, there you go, Charles, the first completed pass of his young career.
And we expect it not to be his last. Very good to get the first one out of the way, though, as he begins his career.
Now Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A nice throw right there, and these fans getting their first look at their QB1 of the future. I'd imagine it's got to be a big plus for him to get his first start here in front of that home crowd.
I know there's a school of thought about getting your first start away from home so you don't have the extra pressure of that crowd behind you. But I say ride the wave, embrace it. Go ahead and play to that level, and I think it's going to benefit him in the long run.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
And that's a run characteristic of Damian Harris. When he touches it, he gets not what's just blocked, but he gets a few more yards as well. He's been dinged up his first 2 years with the Patriots, only 10 starts a year ago. But you have to believe that this coaching staff thinks that he's capable of bigger and better things.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Second and 9. Off play action. Jones. This one to Bourne, and he's got it. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. This is shaping up to be a really nice-looking drive to get the season underway here.
And how long do you think that they actually have been plotting this drive? I'm talking about the coaching staff, right? They've been thinking about this for a while now, and I think they're executing it even better than what they expected.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Maybe the first big test of the season here on both sides. This is 3rd and goal. Here Jones gets it out quickly, complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's 3rd and goal. Off the play fake. Jones out to his left. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. Vision and speed, 2 of the attributes that you might say are important for a free safety, and we saw both in evidence there.
And you can just see that whole play developing. That's where, as a defender, you just lock in on your target and say, I'm not even thinking about breaking stride. I'm running straight for the belt buckle, because where it goes, that's where you find his body, and he was able to get in there and make a great play.
And if you look at the next-gen stats, you'll see that he topped out at an even 21 miles an hour. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Looking to throw. Jones. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
8 yards on the pickup brings up 2nd and 2 at the 28-yard line.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. From the gun, it's Tua. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big play there for Miami. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. Setting to throw on 1st down is Tua. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And the Patriots are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jones. He finds his man Johnson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Another completion there, and what a big moment in a young quarterback's life, that first NFL started. Charles, obviously they want him to win games, but if they're looking at him under a microscope in this first month or so, what do you think they're hoping to see from him?
Well, for every question they'll have for him, they should have for themselves as a coaching staff, because it's not just how quickly can he learn the offense, it's what they can teach him, right? How can he build a relationship with his receivers? And, of course, how open is he to learning?
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Christian Wilkins. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Off play action. Jones. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, so much for getting separation. No chance there. Locked down tight, forcing the incompletion on that attempt.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. He's got it complete to Aguilar. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Another completion there, and you think about the draft back in the spring. He's selected in the first round, getting the start here, as we mentioned, in week 1. It's got to be quite a whirlwind for a young quarterback.
Absolutely, because going in the first round, people are going to clamor for you to be the starter right away, but many teams want you to get your feet wet first, maybe just kind of hang out behind a veteran starter. In this case, though, he ascended right to the top roll, and I know he's excited about the opportunity.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. So, CD, big changes for 2021. Of course, last year we had the expansion from 6 to 7 teams in each conference making the playoffs. This year, the headline, the addition of a 17th regular season game. What did you think when you heard the news that this was happening?
Well, my first thought, partner, was finally, because we've heard about a 17th game coming for a long time, and now here it is. So the beautiful part about all of it is that 17th game is going to be like these interdivision, interconference type games that are going to match up and play out over a 4-year period. And that's kind of cool. And I was looking forward to seeing some of the matchups that were going to come out of that for that 17th game. And could that be the game that decides a bunch of division titles?
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Out to the flat here for Johnson. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Jones keeps it himself, and this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward, and indeed he did not. They stop him. A wall of bodies there, nowhere to burrow through the line on the quarterback sneak. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
It's a game of 5.
2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up, because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Tua to throw again. Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. If you're a lover of offense, this has not been the half for you thus far. Luckily for me, though, I'm sitting next to a lover of defense, and we have had plenty of that, including that interception.
Yeah, and I mean, that still makes it a great game, doesn't it? Everybody talks about if the ball's not in the end zone and points going up on the board, it's not as much fun. I love these defensive battles. Something's got to give with these turnovers. Who can convert them into points?
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Running from the gun, Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight-ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And Folk's kick is good. And the Patriots jump out to a 3-0 lead. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine a head coach when he ordered the field goal, please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. It's a squibber picked up around the 27. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
It's a new season, so both of these coaching staffs likely making plenty of adjustments after their first half of football. So for the call of the second half here in week 1, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. But we'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Noah Igbenogany from his end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And maybe time for this offense to really hit the reset button. They were shut out in the first half, but still, they're right in this game.
They certainly are. What I like about it is that you actually continue to play. You know, you just find a way to make a few plays yourself, and you noted it. Right there on the border in this game, they're not that far off. You just got to find a play or two, and they could be very happy at that point.
On second down, right back to Lindsey. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on third down. Here's a give to Lindsey. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Fourth down now after a loss of 2. Here's Michael Pilardi now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Patriots take over. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. They'll start the drive with Harris. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. Second down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now here's another carry for Harris. Powers through, and he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here's Jones from the gun on third down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Johnson. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. They call it a loss of a yard there. And it'll be 4th down. The Patriots send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Fielded just inside the 20. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards, and it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Working with 2nd and 5 now. Now Tua. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
Yeah, big play there. And when you have a running back that you can use like a wide receiver, when he has that kind of versatility, you do as they did there. Get him out of the backfield and give those defensive backs something else to worry about.
Off the option, here's Gaskin. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's letting this one go for Fuller. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And the Pats are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Jalen Phillips, the edge man on the tackle.
At the 23-yard line.
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. Back to throw. Jones. Open man is born. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Some good games around the league here early in Week 1, and this one shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. Now a give, running left is Harris. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
New England on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. A first carry here for J.J. Taylor. And he will have a Patriots 1st down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. They hand this off to Harris. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On 2nd down now, it's Johnson. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the fourth. Now a first down carry for Harris. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 47 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. First down, and they go back to Harris. Uses the stiff arm. He will push his way down to about the 14. Jason McCourty, the former Patriot, in on the tackle. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. The left side throw complete to Adams. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So a nice throw there, and CD, I have to think you've been impressed with what you've seen thus far here in his debut.
You know me well. I have been impressed because what I've seen is him starting to understand how to play the game in a short amount of time. The dazzling plays, they'll come with experience. But right now, we're seeing him handle the game, make all the smart plays, and the right reads.
They're going for it. This is Harris. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Earlier, they had 2 other fourth down conversion attempts that did not go their way. This time, it does go their way.
And this reminds me of a conversation I had with him in the offseason. There wasn't even a game to be played. But what he told me, I have enough confidence in my team and my play calling ability that I think I can always pick it up. Thus, they continue to go for it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he keeps fighting his way into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Damian Harris taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Patriots add on to their lead. Nick Folk for the point after. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
2nd and 10. Now Tua. Pass caught by Fuller. Well done. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 2nd and 5. Tua to throw. Lindsey on the receiving end. And he's got a first down as he's tackled inbounds at midfield. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Here's Tua. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Tua. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Kevin King with a pick. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense, obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
But you know what they say, it's always fun to work on things. If it didn't go well in your game, with a victory in your pocket. And that's what they've got going forward.
So for New England, it's a victory for Mac Jones in his debut at quarterback. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Miami, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Buffalo Bills.